Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I'm Kayla with the student number 119, and we're going to talk about the procedure of English material development. There is 4 procedures that we're going to talk about. The first one is evaluating and grading. The second one is designing. The third one is adapting, and also the last one is evaluating. So the first procedure that we're going to talk about is the selecting and grading. The first one is definition of them. The definition of selecting is the process of choosing the most relevant language items such as a vocabulary, grammar, and or topics that align with learner needs and curriculum goals. So the second one is the definition of grading. It is organizing those selected items into a logical sequence, and typically from simple to complex. Beside of definition, we're going to talk about the relevant theories with that article. So the first one is Madsen and Bowen's congruence theory. It says materials must align with the program's objectives and students' proficiency. Second one is from Cunningworth's principles. That is, the selection is influenced by classroom dynamics, syllabus constraints, and learner motivation. So the method that they use in research is mixed methods, which is they used the quantitative and qualitative approach. And then the instrument that they use is a Likert scale questionnaire, which is like 11 items, and the semi-structured interviews with 15 lecturers. The data analysis, they use quantitative data analysis via SPSS or Excel. So the results of the research is they say that this procedure is incompatibility, which is the research found a significant gap between the materials provided and the students' actual English level. And the second one, it says it is irrelevance, which is the content didn't support the students' academic needs in their specific fields of study at National University. And the third one, it says lack of progression, that the grading or the ordering of difficulty was inconsistent, causing students to struggle with complex tasks too early. And then the last one is negative feedback. So it says like most lecturers reported that the materials failed to motivate students or achieve the syllabus goals. So the second procedure of English material development is designing. The first one we're going to talk about is the definition of designing. That is the systematic process of creating original instructional materials from scratch when existing research do not meet the specific needs of a target group. Beside of definition, we're going to talk about the relevant theories of article, which is they can use like PPP framework, which is like a structured lesson through presentation, practice, and production. That is why it named PPP framework. And then the second one is from Howard and Major's principles, that is ensuring materials are authentic, attractive, and learner-centered. And the third one is curriculum alignment, that is the designing based on national competency standard, like K13. Also, they use the method to research is research and development method or R&D at SMA Negeri 1 Sungguh Minasa. So the results of this article is the first one, they found this as a successful prototype. The study produced a new English course book specifically tailored for grade 10, which is the first grade of high school in Indonesia, students, focusing on the 2013 curriculum. And then they found that this can be the cultural engagement, integrating local content or local wisdom and culture, made the materials more relatable and interesting for students compared to the generic textbooks. And then the last one, the designed materials were validated by experts as highly appropriate in terms of content, language, and presentation. So the third procedures of the English material development is adapting. Of course, the first also we gonna talk about the definition of adapting. That is the process of modifying or adjusting existing materials to improve their fit for a specific classroom. This includes adding or expanding, omitting or deleting or simplifying the content. And then the relevant theories that relevant of that article is the first one we can do with adaptation framework by McDonough-et-al. That is adding, deleting, modifying, simplifying, and reordering. And then the second one theories or the relevant theories is from the concept of fit adjusting materials to achieve a match between the text, the teachers, and the learners. And the method of this article or research that they use is the first one, they use the qualitative case study. In the implementation, they do in-depth exploration of teacher behavior. And then the participant that joined the research is high school English teachers in Banda Aceh. And also they collecting the data with the document analysis or lesson plans and classroom observation and also interviews. So the results of the research, it says the first one is dominant techniques. That is the teachers most frequently use addition or adding extra grammar exercises and modification to make the text easier to understand. And then the second one is exam oriented. The most adaptations were driven by the need to prepare students for national exams rather than communicative fluency. And the third is loss of HOTS or high order thinking skills. While trying to simplify materials, some teachers accidentally remove activities that promote high order thinking skills. And it can improve fit, which is adaptation successfully helped bridge the gap between difficult textbook language and the students' actual proficiency. So the last procedure of English material development is evaluating, which is the assessment of effectiveness and impact of teaching materials. It determines if the materials actually help students learn. And talking about the research, I also found the relevant theories of that. The first is learner-centered evaluation, which is moving beyond checklist evaluation to looking at the impact on the learner. Based on the checklist, we can see or evaluating at the impact of the materials to the learner. And also, I found the second relevant theories is from Tomlinson's principles that materials should achieve impact, help learners feel at ease, and also require feedback or self-discovery. And the research method that they use in this research is qualitative systematic review, like a theoretical exploration of evaluation frameworks. And this method is focused on the analysis of existing literature to establish a set of principles for effective evaluation. So the results of evaluating, it says critical awareness, that is the evaluation revealed that many teachers rely too much on the visual appeal of a book rather than its pedagogical effectiveness. And the second one, it says framework necessity. The research concluded that a systematic evaluation, such as pre-use, whilst use, and post-use, is essential to prevent wasting time on ineffective materials. And the last one is teacher empowerment. The evaluation is not just about checking boxes, but is a reflective process that helps teachers understand how their students actually learn. So the conclusion of all the procedures is the selection and design build the foundation, while adaptation and evaluation ensure ongoing relevance. Mastering these 4 steps allows teachers to turn any textbook into a dynamic tool that guarantees students' success. So that is my presentation about the 4 procedures in English material development. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.